Welcome to the Karla and Rainelle Show. I'm Karla Gordy Bristol, and Rainelle is on vacation. So you have Karla and her guest host. Our guest host today is Miss Iris Gordy. Hello, welcome.
Hi, everybody. Hey, sweetheart.
Hey,
how you doing? Mwah.
And she's my mother. Look at that. I'm doing, kind of like Regis Philbin used to always have Joy as wife, and Kelly Ripa as her husband, and I've got my mother. I think it's pretty cool. So,
Your mommy.
Thank you for, first of all, being available and saying yes when I asked you to join today and fill in for the wonderful Rainelle, who's on vacation. Like, I'm totally jealous. No, lucky her.
Hey, Ray. Are you having fun, honey?
Yes, I'm sure she's watching.
I hope you're having a nice vacation and enjoying life to the fullest and spreading joy and love and just good health and wonderfulness to anybody that you're around. Okay? I know you can do that.
And we know she's doing just that. So we might not have as many jokes today because Rainelle's the one bringing in all the jokes, right? The majority of them. I'm good at laughing, so if you got a few jokes in you, I'm sure you got a few jokes in you. You're looking fabulous in your red.
Well, thank you, honey. I got red shoes, too.
You got red shoes? Look at you. Okay. The lady in red over here with me. Well, I do have on a red bracelet, so I guess I'm kind of blending in with you.
I'll take that.
So I hope everyone's had a great week since we saw you last and had a wonderful weekend. What did you do? What have you been up to? Anything exciting you can share?
This week, we've been doing a little traveling, drove up the coast. It was very nice.
That's always great.
And, just doing what we do, People say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? I say, hey, everything and nothing. It's always, everything is going on. It's wonderful. It's great. And then, hey, it's nothing because...
You talking to me or with you?
It's all... Oh, I was talking to the folks too.
We're having a conversation.
She's jealous of you guys. Yeah. So, but, no, I did. I went up the coast, and this weekend is going to be very exciting because we're supposed to go to Coachella for the first time. Yeah, I've never been to Coachella.
Well, you just let the cat out.
Yeah.
Coachella, it's in my notes, too, to talk about. Yeah, Coachella is going on this weekend. Let me see if I can find where I have that. But it's happening this weekend and next weekend. And it's a big, big music and arts festival every year, founded in 1999. So, it's going to be very exciting.
And they got Kendrick Lamar appearing.
That's right. Lady Gaga is on the ticket. That's the big. That's who replaced Beyonce. So when Beyonce, the baby bump was announced.
Yeah, she took her place.
The big talk was, like it was really going to, it's a big blow to Coachella, but they got to be able to fill that spot in,
I know.
But that's a big blow. It's hard to, you really can't replace Beyonce, She stands on her own.
Not at all.
So it's just,
There's only one.
There's only one.
There's only one Lady Gaga. There's only one Beyonce. That's why Gaga was chosen to replace her.
Exactly, you're right.
She's probably the only one of very few who could do that.
Yeah, you're right. And they definitely stand alone, but they're both individually amazing artists. So it's going to be a fun festival. It's going to be hot, I would expect, though. Have you checked the weather?
No, I haven't. That's a good question. It's so warm in here, actually. But
yeah, I know. I've told them to turn up the studio air, but
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, studio people, get it together.
It happens like that with the weather. I think it's usually with the lights it gets warm. It's hard to control.
We also this week, you'd asked what was going on this week. I almost blanked because it was such a whirlwind. Our chairman of the Motown Museum was in town.
Right.
Robin Terry.
Our cousin,
wonderful.
Robin Terry.
Our dynamic little cousin. I call her BC for Baby Cuz. She runs the Motown Museum quite efficiently and effectively. She's doing a great, fantastic job. And anybody who has not seen the Motown Museum in Detroit, Michigan, must go. People come from all over, 1 million people every year come and tour the Motown Museum. Paul McCartney came there, played our piano in Studio A one day on his visit a couple of years ago. And called back the next day, his office called back and said, hey, the piano was a bit out of tune and Mr. McCartney was sorry he couldn't play it. He'd like to have it refurbished for you. And we'll see how much it costs. We'll take care of it. And he did. And he paid to have the piano refurbished, sent it to Steinway. Bam. But people come from all over. See that. We had a round of meetings here because Robin was in town. So that was wonderful.
No, it's great. It's always good. And I'm sure a lot was done. And of course, my mom's going to come on and talk about Motown Museum. Of course. You got to see it. Gotta love it. Anytime I meet someone, though, if they say they've been to, they like Detroit, visited Detroit, whatever, they're going to Detroit, I always bring it up. So I totally understand that.
What can we tell you? What can we
I
tell
again
you?
led the walk with the mayor in Beverly Hills for Lily Bossy. I led the warm up for the wonderful Walk with the Mayor program that she has put back on the.
Now, see, you stole my thing. I was going to say that and brag about my daughter.
So, well, you can join
fantastic.
So it was a lot of fun doing it. The fitness person who really he's going to be leading that every week was on vacation. Dion Jackson was in Hawaii. Celebrating his birthday, so hi Dion. But so I filled in doing it myself, and it was fun, and I got a lot of good feedback. So, just keep exercising. Everybody keep it up.
You're wonderful. You do a great job with that
exercising
all the time, and you and Dion do it together a lot of times.
Well, we were asked a few years back to do it together, and then but he, his probably main job is a fitness person, so I love letting him do it. I of course have a history of being a professional dancer, choreographer. And so I'm always working out, and I've been an instructor for many years doing that in the past, but once a dancer, always a dancer, right?
That's what they say.
You never stop being something that you started doing so young and had a career, successful career doing, right?
That's right.
Like you're still a music person, former Motown VP, you still got the music in you, it's not going anywhere. So
I always tell you could easily open a dance studio.
That's why when I went to college to Michigan State, I was studying business because and minoring dance because I wanted to open a dance studio. Isn't that great? And so, like I just said, it never goes away. That I think of that all the time. And in real estate, as an agent, and I put people in properties for their business, it's always in the back of my mind, like, wow, this could be a good dance studio. I mean, it has not left me. So it's something that's still with me. So one day, I will have that dance studio, and all of you can come.
And I'm not bragging as a mom, but yes, I'm bragging. When you have so many talents, sometimes it's hard to pick which one you want to do, and Karla can just do so many things. I'm so proud of you, baby.
Well, thank you.
And this show has just gone on, taking a life of its own, and
just
here I am co-hosting. You're coasting
too. She's coasting and co-hosting all together.
Come ride with me, everybody. It's fun.
It's
hosting
been a year.
The Karla and Rainelle show.
It's been a year. We passed the year mark. Yes.
Really?
We started the Karla and Rainelle show at the West Hollywood Public Access Station last year in March.
Really?
So it's been over a year now.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
so
we got to celebrate or do
we
something.
thank all of you for following us and sharing and staying tuned.
Thank you.
But we got to get to some big stuff. We're halfway through already. We have to talk about a few things, and I want to get your opinion, jump in. But this man that visibly watching this video being dragged on the United Airlines flight.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, airlines have the right to ask passengers to get off a plane if they're overbooked. They overbook. Why do they overbook? Of course, because they want that money. So they overbooked the flight, and they had 4 of their crew members that needed to get on the flight. They then identify certain people based on the fare they paid, when they bought their ticket, all these different factors they claim. And there's this video out that I'm sure everybody's watching has seen. If not, Google United Airlines passenger, and I'm sure it'll be the top thing. So they picked this one guy who said, I'm a doctor, I can't get off the plane, and I have to get to my patients tomorrow. And they called security. And security pulled him off to the point where he was bloody and injured and dragged down the aisle. People were screaming. I mean,
He was screaming.
He was screaming, a piercing scream, he had blood coming out of his mouth. It's just... I mean, this could be any of us on a flight. It makes no sense at all to me, and I'm sure most people seeing it. And then when the United Airlines CEO had a chance to, apologize and say how horrible this was, all he did was say that there was an issue with a passenger that was being unruly. And he said nothing to apologize. Kind of reminds me of Trump. But it was just horrible. And now today he's done a TV interview where he says that it was wrong, and he's apologized.
Yeah,
but it's a little late. Because his stock crashed. The United Airlines stock tanked after that, of course. So, of course, everybody's going to do what they need to do for the sake of their company and their money and their push. But
poor guy.
It's all ridiculous.
Well, those people have been relieved of their job, haven't they?
Well, what I've heard is that they were suspended.
Leave.
Right. I hate when you suspend someone. That, to me, the man who slammed his head into the armrest should be fired. But they have had suspensions issued, but they now have said they will no longer have security come on the plane to remove people. So
think about it, folks.
Yeah.
You're on a plane. This guy, wasn't he first class too?
No, I believe it was coach.
There was another
but there was another
guy
situation
that talked about him being in first class, and they took him out of first class, bounced him back to the
Yes.
and then still ejected him from the plane.
Exactly.
It wasn't this kind of scene, but you're on a plane. You bought your ticket, paid for it. You have things to do. You have a destination to get to. And randomly, nobody's volunteering. Okay, we'll just pick 3 people randomly. What?
Move your thing over.
I didn't even know they could do that. But they say it's in the contract on your ticket when you buy your ticket. So.
Right. Yeah, it is. It's on there. But, forcibly removing you. Yeah, they can force you off. I mean, but they should be compassionate based on your circumstance.
That's scary.
What if you're going to a wedding or a funeral, or you have a sick child, or like this doctor had a patient to get to? So they have to really be reasonable, or double the money they owe you. I think it's up to $1,350 that they have to pay. But they had it at $800 initially, and they can work it up. So now we know we can negotiate. It sounds like when they take you off the plane. Say, if you give me $1,000, I'll get off. They may do it.
They are compensating everyone on the plane now, and I'm sure
they are
that
too.
guy
It was
is going to.
dramatic.
That guy is at least going to fly free for a year or 2.
Oh my God!
Sure.
It's not even about flying
it's
free.
crazy.
It's just about treating people with respect, paying customers, and who are not criminals. So. It's just horrific.
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely.
And something that else is horrific is the San Bernardino tragedy that happened here. And I won't spend too much time getting into it, but just our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the teacher of San Bernardino Elementary School who was killed by her husband, who she had separated from just 2 months prior. Just 2 months had gone by, she separated from him, and she had been telling her family that he was acting different and something was odd about him and so forth. I just really wish that she had notified the school personnel that there was something going on. I've left my husband, so if he shows up, don't let him in the school, because he entered through the front and checked in like everybody else.
That's what I didn't understand.
I don't understand
why they wouldn't call back. It's always a procedure of a school, especially to notify the person that's being visited. Even when you go to an apartment building that's guard gated. They always call up for you. Hey, so-and-so's here. Doesn't matter who it is. They should make no exceptions. But they said they, quote-unquote, knew him. So they let him in. But that's no excuse.
Well, either
they should have called her, and she would have, I'm sure, said, no, please, don't let him in.
Well, if she would have done that, then she should have notified the office in advance and said, if he comes, take his name off the list. He's no longer allowed to come.
Yeah, she should have
So we
done
don't know.
that.
Those are all ifs, but it's just a sad tragedy. And an 8-year-old boy died who was in the classroom. And then there's a 9-year-old that was also injured, but is going to survive from their injuries. But
it was critical for a while.
Yeah, they both were initially critical. But it's just very sad. And I couldn't stop watching that and praying and putting it on Facebook and tweeting. And it's just...
be careful, folks.
Be safe.
Choose your partners carefully.
Yeah.
Choose your partners carefully. You just never know who you think you know.
You don't know till you know. That's what I told someone one day, because they kind of get offended because I wanted to be hesitant. They're like, well, I said, I don't know what I don't know.
You don't know until you know, and then sometimes you never know. So, hey, God bless you guys.
Yeah. And
care for them. Take care of those
absolutely.
Souls, those precious
and listen
souls.
to people around you, I would say, right? Listen to your family, your friends, because sometimes there's something about that outside looking in that has a different perspective than when you're engaged in a situation. So you really got to listen. So people are kind of alerting you to something. Just say, okay, I hear you, and then think about it and sit back and ponder it, I think.
Well, sometimes they don't know, but you should always listen to everything. And just there's always an inner intuition that we have. We all have it.
Right.
We know. We have that gut reaction, or whatever you want to call it. Well, it's a feeling that we have the slightest little inkling. Just pay attention to that.
Absolutely. Well, that brings me to sexual harassment, which has been a big thing in the news. Bill O'Reilly, of course, has had to pay.
Do we have to talk about? No.
I know I don't want to mention his name too many times. I've said it once, maybe one more will come. But because we're talking about being safe and protecting ourselves, then you have people, the sexual predators, that think it's okay, and it's not. And people need to speak up. I myself have had this happen many times, and you feel like, God, this is actually sexual harassment. It's not something you think you're going to go report because you don't feel like you're in tremendous danger, but it's wrong. It's just wrong. And it often happens in a work environment, a workplace. They see you all the time, and they may have things to say to you, but it's just wrong. And so he paid $13 million off in hush money, and he's not the first.
Well, between he and the station.
Yeah, he and the station. But now the breaking news is that he's gone on vacation.
Yeah.
He announced that he's going to take a little vacation.
I know he has.
I wonder why. I think with all the sponsors leaving the show and all the backlash, I guess the station was like, you are taking a vacation, sir. Yeah. I don't want to take a vacation. Yeah, you're taking a vacation, and it might be till eternity from here. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if that was a permanent vacation, but we'll see. We'll see how that rolls. I don't know. But harassment, just for those that, women out there want you to listen, and some of you men just need to understand these little flirtatious comments you make technically are sexual harassment, especially in a work environment. So I'm just going to go over a couple real quick, even though we know harassment is usually against a woman and in a workplace or another professional or social type situation involving and making unwanted sexual advances or obscene remarks. Request for sexual favors is sexual harassment, and other verbal or physical contact of a sexual nature that tends to create a hostile or offensive work environment. All of those. And I know people are going, wait, I'd make a little think about what you say to women, think about what's going on, touching, comments, all that. Little smirks you make, it's sexual harassment. So be careful. Back up. Be respectful. And women demand respect. And men, we know.
I see somebody squirming out there. Are you getting nervous? No.
And women, they can as well. Men can be harassed by women. So everybody needs to be respectful of the other person. If you have an interest and you want to compliment, there's a compliment and there's harassment. Be careful. Be very careful. I know. I take it so seriously. I don't like it. Maybe just when people do it, just say, that's actually sexual harassment. I've done that. And they're like, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Keep going and you'll find out. No. I just, that's how I feel about it. So, but Bill Clinton and many others have been on that list, even Republican Representative Mark Foley, Britney Spears has even had that come up. Clarence Thomas, Bill Cosby, more recent, R. Kelly.
Britney was harassed or she was harassed?
I'm not going to get into, these are people that did commit sexual harassment. Britney did commit sexual harassment on a man, so it happens, women.
Oh, she was?
Yes, it was on her.
I was joking.
Woody Allen, David Copperfield, Marv Albert, and it just goes on and on and on. So all I got to say is respect others. Respect others. So, yeah, that's it. But yes, Britney's on the list.
So what has Sean Spicer done lately?
Oh my God, flub.
Has he done anything in the last? Anybody seen the last 2 minutes of time?
I know, right?
He must have done something.
We got to keep up with it every second. He's apologized. He's groveling for his job. He's taken back retracted statements. He's compared, situations to Hitler. Like it really, they're coming down on him hard.
Can we have asked for a more colorful, interesting, disturbing press secretary?
It's so funny. And then he says names incorrectly. He has his English language is incorrect on sentences, his grammar. I mean, it's just, and they're just laying on into him right now.
This latest thing, though, saying that not even Hitler. I mean, first of all, anyone who dares start a conversation or a sentence, not even
Yeah.
Come on. They're not all there. They're quite insensitive, and they are not just up to speed on what's going on, period, or what has gone on in the world. Don't know their history.
Right.
Totally insensitive statement to make. And boy, did our wonderful Jewish community come down on him.
Absolutely did.
Rightfully so. And everybody else should do the same. Now they're asking for him to resign, of course. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I want him to resign. I just want to see what else he dares or is crazy enough to come up with.
Right.
There's
no telling, between him and Trump changing his mind all the time too. It's just, and then Bannon and Trump's son-in-law are having their share of fighting going on, and Trump's trying to get them to get along. It's just, every time you turn around, I don't know when we've ever seen so much going on. And it's like having a house full of 20 kids, and they're fighting over here, and this one is saying the wrong thing. And I mean, it's just...
They have to retract everything they say.
They do.
Now, we have some British people that watch us, and people from overseas, from other countries.
Absolutely.
What are you guys thinking about this?
We have international viewers. We love it.
Give us a comment or two on how is this hitting you guys? Oh, my God. We know how we're feeling about it. What are you guys feeling? Let us know.
I'd love to. Yeah, I've got my little monitors here. So if I'm going over everybody, I'm reaching, trying to see if I can pull up your comments while we're on. And,
wow.
Yeah, it would be good to be able to see that.
Can we talk about something positive?
Positive? Well, then I can't say what I was about to talk about. So let's see. What's positive?
Oh,
we're here. That's what's positive.
Anyone in the Los Angeles area who hasn't or is not aware, there has been a Miracles, Motown's Own Miracles exhibit at the Grammy Museum. That's been going on since, I think, February. Claudette Robinson kicked it off on behalf of her Miracles group. She's the only female member to ever be and sing with the Miracles. Our wonderful friend and sister girl, Claudette Robinson, Lady Claudette, is also going to be honored on, I think it's May 19th. May 19th, she's going to be honored at City Hall and given a key to the city. So anyone in the area who wants to be there for that, it's May 19th. But that exhibit at the Grammy Museum. Yeah. Is going on now through June. So you can see that through June and go and pay your respects and your homage and fan out over our own Miracles. Great dynamic Motown group.
It's a great display. I've heard a lot of positive things about it, and the history that they depict with the videos and so forth. Her clothing is there, the outfits.
We were at the opening of that exhibit.
Very nice.
It was wonderful. They have some wonderful outfits and film footage, like Karla said. It's great.
It's something to see. If you're a fan of original Motown and the group The Miracles, definitely go check it out. And I love the fact that Aunt Claudette is, the female in the group. She's the one female who was holding it down when it first started.
She's holding it down, period. She's the one Miracle that's holding it down. Hold it down, Lady C.
She's holding down the whole Miracle.
Lady C.
Legacy. Okay, I'm just saying hi to a few. I see you here. We've got Kevin Donan, Gilberto Vega. Wow, great.
Hi,
Claudette Robinson. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Hi, Kev. That's my brother, y'all.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting to see you guys on.
I didn't forget Kevin.
Okay.
We're working on it.
Keep going.
That was another message to Kevin. I'm supposed to do something for Kevin. So.
I know you want positivity, but I've got to give it, condolences to Eddie Murphy and the Murphy family. That his brother Charlie Murphy passed away from leukemia, and he had been undergoing chemo. And I've known Eddie Murphy personally since the 90s, early 90s. Was a good friend of mine back in the day, and it's sad because Charlie Murphy was an actor, comedian, very, very funny. I just love watching him. He's
excellent comedian.
Excellent, yeah. He was also a writer. He wrote a lot of the movies that you saw him in, and the Dave Chappelle Show. He's very well known for being on the Dave Chappelle Show.
An actor.
And Are We There Yet?
And
Boondocks. He did Boondocks. He did that, and so many things, and. It's a tragic loss. He was only 57 years old.
Yeah, so most people just know him from that Dave Chappelle. A lot of people who didn't know about him, that's when they really discovered him. And he was priceless on that show. I mean, that whole character, I think he came up with the whole character himself, he and Dave together, and it's wonderful. That's a piece of art that will go on and on and on. People will always be, I'm sure it's trending right now, because people loved that skit that they did. It's wonderful. And what's that? Oh, okay. I think I'm being hooked.
No, I just want my mother to talk to me and not the
I'm supposed to talk to you. I'm sorry. I don't want you guys to think I don't know you're out there.
I want to know what happened with Janet Jackson. I don't understand this. I mean, you should have seen my jaw drop. Janet Jackson and her husband of 5 years, who just had a baby 3 months ago, are separated or getting divorced. Maybe. I'm really shocked.
Say it ain't so, Joe.
It's amazing. So a moving truck was
separated.
They're in London at their home. A moving truck was outside of the house today in London. So.
Oh my! Oh dear! What shall we do?
Well, gee. Okay, what a reaction.
I'm sorry.
I am sad.
People get separated every day. I'm sorry, Janet, and I'm sorry, Janet fans. If you're Janet fan, I love Janet. I mean, Janet is practically my relative. But
She is cold and heartless.
But I'm not cold and heartless. I'm just, you brought it on so dramatically. I said, gosh, we just talked about dear
Yeah. I'm trying to read some of the comments
Charlie.
from our viewers.
Talking about
Yeah.
Charlie, and now they're,
Yes, that's what we do on the talk
anyway,
show. We
folks.
keep it moving.
some
And
mother-daughter drama here.
But no, it's sad, and I hope and pray that the best works out for them. Whatever's supposed to be will be. And happy for the little baby, though. I think it's just
Janet will be fine.
it's a true blessing. And
Janet
so,
would not have left him if
I don't think she's
wasn't
not going to be
supposed to be.
fine. I'm just wishing them
I
well.
think she'll be fine.
I'm sure everybody will be fine in
the
whatever
baby
they do.
will be fine.
I'm just saying they broke up, and I'm letting you guys know. And there was
Yeah.
things are going on.
No, all kidding aside, I'm always sorry when people can't stay together. It's always good when they can stay together. But if they can't, that's okay too.
Okay, I'm going to go a little
This
over.
day
I
and
know
age.
this is, I'm going to have to go over because every week I try to get the story out and I don't get to it, and I actually advertised that I was going to talk about it. So for those that are curious about whether you should buy, when we buy fish, it's such a frustrating thing because, you order fish in the restaurant and it's usually not going to be wild caught fish. And it's either farm raised, wild caught, you go to buy it. It's, it's so confusing sometimes if you really haven't researched it. And then even if it's wild caught, there's some issues, and they always say, well, there's more mercury. I always talk to the men at the fish department. I ask them, okay, so break it down. What is good? What's not? And majority say wild caught. So I decided to just kind of do a little search, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing. So I may have to do a part 2, but let me just hit a few bullet points since I did put out that I was going to talk about it today. Okay? What do you buy? Do you have a preference?
Oh, well, I like wild because only because I've heard that it's better. I've been told that if it's farm raised, then they have it in an enclosed space,
Right.
So they can't get the things get in the water, and they just sort of sediment is in the water and various things that they ingest, and then we end up eating that whatever's settled in the water. If it's wild, they got the big wide ocean. It's always fresh water, and it's well, not fresh water like fresh water, but it's ocean water. They're wild and free and wonderful, and so everything's going through their systems, and we don't get a lot of things that we would get from an enclosed space.
That's a great point you've made. Many great points. So, for those that have paper and pen, take notes on a few of these things, and then we're going to close out.
She's going to give you the real deal.
Well, I'm going to give you one's opinion. This is Leah Bash. She's a registered dietitian for the Tasteful Pantry, and these are her opinions and recommendations and information. So, wild-caught fish are often healthier as less contamination from the man-made toxins. So, that is what we were talking about earlier, because they do feed on natural diet of smaller fish and algae, and they come into contact with less bacteria and parasites, which is what you were saying is in the confined environment. And the downside is that many of the larger wild fish are high in mercury, as I was stating earlier, and that's my concern. We don't want a lot of mercury, and poor fishing methods can harm the ocean habitat and result in overfishing. So that mercury comes, you'll find out about the feeding and what they're eating, because they're out there eating a bunch of different things too. And if they eat bad fish all the time that have mercury, then they're going to get it. The only way to limit your mercury, which is bad, is from the wild-caught fish, is to avoid the larger fish that have eaten smaller mercury-containing fish. There you go. So the real mercury is coming from these little fish. They're eating them. They're getting more mercury in them, and that's how that's kind of.
So wait, let me follow this. The large fish are eating the small fish.
Yes.
The small fish have mercury.
They have higher levels of mercury.
The large fish eat the small fish, and they receive the mercury.
They receive the mercury.
So you can't eat large fish, and you can't eat small fish.
Eat the small
What
fish.
do you
Don't eat fish. No, I'm kidding. So, avoid king mackerel, swordfish.
You guys following this?
Avoid king mackerel, swordfish, marlin, bluefin tuna, and orange roughy. Oh no, don't say it's so.
Oh my God.
Don't say it's so. I love swordfish.
All us fish lovers are in
I love swordfish,
trouble.
especially at Ocean Prime. That is my spot. And they get fish from good areas, though. Farm-raised fish, now here we go. Farm-raised fish can have more contamination from toxic industrial chemicals such as the PBCs, polychlorinated biophenils, and dioxins. They're often raised in crowded conditions and contain higher rates of bacteria, pesticides, artificial coloring, antibiotics, and parasites. That is what happens in a confined environment for the most part. The good news is that mainly farm-raised fish are now grown in a way that's better for the environment and healthier. So we're leading more and more to a life where we're going to have more farm-raised fish. It's going to be probably more regulated, and they're going to take care of them better and get rid of the parasites and all the negatives, because that's the only way to get rid of the mercury and have good fish for everybody. So any questions you should have for when you're going shopping is, what country is the fish from? And I even ask in a restaurant, I'll say, where do you get your fish from? You know, if it's Santa Monica Fish Company, then I'm usually good with that, because that's a good one for Californians. But so you want to ask that question. And then
if they say what they got it was,
some fish are farmed or fished sustainably and are healthier in one country than others. So you really have to do your research in your area and find out. And once you know, then ask these questions when you go to eat. Look for the COOL, the country of origin labeling. It's on the package. Talk to your meat department at the store and let them know that you want to know about the cool, basically, labeling on the package and what country it's from, and learn the countries that are best for you to buy, and then you'll know what to get. If it's wild, you want to look for the MCS, the Marine Stewardship Council label. That is a good thing. Label, or a sustainable label. That's what you want to look for. Just telling you, just forwarding. I'm not the expert.
Repeat that again.
If it's wild, look for a Marine Stewardship Council label, the MSC label, or sustainable label.
Okay.
That's a good thing. If it's farmed, you want to look for labels that include words like organic. Yes, I'm Miss Organic big time. Responsibly farmed. That's a key word you want to look for. Certified sustainable is another word, 2 words you want to look for. Farmed responsibly. So if it just says farmed and it doesn't say responsible,
responsibly,
it's not good. You need the responsibly. ASC, certified, is also what you look for, or the best aquaculture practices certified. It's a lot, I tell you. That's why I said take your notes. But all these kind of words will let you know that they're really taking their care and making sure that this fish, if it's farmed, doesn't have the pesticides and all the toxins and so forth on them. And that's the best way to do it. I'm sorry. There is a lot of fish fraud. It's a real deal out there. And you've got to know what you're eating. You really do. You have to pay attention to the advertising and know what the red flags are when you're going out buying this fish.
You have to know what you're eating, but it sounds like you can't eat anything.
It's very limited, but once you find it, then you're good. You know, you have to research it, ask around, go to a fresh fish market in your area, things like that. That's when you'll get the good fish. If you live near the ocean, I would find some great fish places by the ocean. Usually they're good. So if you're getting salmon, get coho salmon. That's better. It's a better choice. Farmed Atlantic salmon is usually not a good choice. And that's what most restaurants are serving, and that's what most people are getting. So be careful. I've really cut back, and I'm aware, and this helps. You know, things lead to cancer and other illnesses and diseases. It's legit, and I wanted to share this with everybody because for me, I eat a lot of fish, and my co-host Rainelle eats, fish, doesn't eat meat, and so it's something that I run to constantly. And you can't just go out to eat bad fish, and then when you're home buy good fish. You got to be careful and get a good restaurant. Mm-hmm. And you wonder, why do I go to one restaurant and the fish is like $45 for salmon, and you go to another one, it's $25? That's why. That is why. So that's about it, everybody. I didn't want to go to it. So by 2030, they predict that the World Bank estimates that nearly 2/3 of all seafood will be farm-raised. But responsibly, all about being responsibly farm-raised. And you can go to livestrong.com for more information as well, because they stay on top of all healthy, things, whether it be exercise or food you eat and so forth. So that's my report for you guys today. And I'm sorry to go a little bit over. I've gone about 5 minutes in, but I want to get that out. I've been wanting to talk about it, and I run into people all the time ordering salmon especially, but all kind of fish, and we got to be healthy.
Well, you may have saved some people a lot of bad experiences with fish out there. I hope so.
I hope so too.
I
want some fish tonight.
That was very good.
So I hope you took the notes on that. You can always replay the show.
The way I eat fish from now on.
No, really? Yeah, you can't just go and say farm raised or
read those labels, folks. Read those labels.
Yeah, absolutely. So, any closing things you'd like to say, my wonderful co-host today?
Well, this has been fun. I enjoyed this. I'm always it's always cool hanging out with my dynamic daughter here, and I do have one thing to say to that policeman who beat that jaywalker for no particular reason. So we see on the tape. Looks like no reason at all. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah. Is that the one who
We
stepped on
know
his
most
head?
cops, we know most of you are trying to, and I hate to say even the word cops. I mean, hey, these are young men who've chosen to go into a profession. It's dangerous out there. Some situations you get in, it's very dangerous. Don't think we don't understand. Even Black Lives Matter people, we all understand what you go through every day. You're risking your life. You don't know what anybody's going to do. You stop somebody for a traffic a violation and you're gone. So we understand you're a little on edge sometimes. But this guy's standing there, as far as we can see. Even if he was mouthing off at you, so what?
Right.
So you're going to beat the crap out of him for that? He was jaywalking.
Ego.
Jaywalking.
Yeah.
And people are yelling, stop, what are you doing? Stop that. And you're beating him with your fists like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what we hired you for. That's not why you have that job. To serve and protect. Do your job.
Okay, Iris Gordy has spoken. I agree. I totally agree with that. And on that note, I'm going to see if our viewers have a last minute comment. Beverly Stevens. Hi there. We love you so much. Beverly's watching.
Hi, Bev.
Friend.
Shadow Stevens' wife, little pretty thing, you.
And she's saying the show keeps starting and stopping. So I don't know if there's a connection issue. Hopefully not when I look back. It looks great on our monitors here on set, but maybe it's your Wi-Fi. I hope not. After we've completed the show, I'd say go back and replay it. Please share the show again with others. We need shares. We need to get to as many people as possible to tell them about all these wonderful topics each and every week. You can watch the Karla and Rainelle show every Wednesday at 5:30 and Pacific Daylight Time. And if you're on the East Coast, of course, that's 8:30. And again, thank you to our co-host, Miss Iris Gordy, my dear mother, who I appreciate.
Sweetheart.
I might bring you back for another sit-in, or Rainelle might bring you in if I'm on vacation next. So,
Thanks for having me.
I do have to go see my Atlanta people soon. So,
Yeah, and you love your Atlanta people.
I love Atlanta.
Hey, Christy, are you watching? Did you get the right time, Christy?
I love some Atlanta, Georgia, I tell you.
All right, everybody. It was great hanging out with you guys. Thanks for tuning in.
John Oliver, we have Jeannie Judas on here. Sheila.
Hi, Jeannie girl.
Thank you. Oh, thanks for the comments. I will be going back over them, but thank you.
Jeannie girl.
Jeannie agrees with your girl. She agrees with you.
John Oliver. Did you say John Oliver? Motown's John Oliver?
I did.
Is that our John
Oliver? It is
Motown
John Oliver.
Hey, John. How you doing, honey?
The Motown people are following today.
Hi.
Shout out to Motown. All right. Well, again, thank everybody for watching. Please spread love and kindness. We really need it, especially now in the world. And keeping, I'll be keeping in prayer. Everybody do whatever it is they want to do, but to maintain peace.
Absolutely.
And that's it. We'll see you next week. Repost, share, like, all that good stuff. Send comments. And we'll see you next week. Rainelle will be back in studio. And we have an amazing guest next week. I'm so excited to welcome
that's right.
Richard Lawson will be our guest, and we'll be at the Waco Theater, which is having its big opening gala fundraiser on April 29th. So get your tickets to the Waco fundraising gala.
And where's that going to be?
It's on. They can look it up.
I think it's the African American Museum.
It's all capitalized with periods.
CAM.
Waco. And Miss Tina Knowles and Richard Lawson are doing that, and so please support. It's a great event. The host committee includes Beyonce and Bianca Lawson and Solange and Kelly Rowland. So I mean, that's a great host committee.
Yeah, that's
so. I think you want to be there. So go get your ticket, support it, and it's the Wearable Art Gala. So it's all about wearable art. Yeah, so maybe they'll put me in some wearable art for the show one time. I can show you a little wearable art there. I'd love it. It's a big trend.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a big
come up
trend.
with your wearable art.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Richard, you hear that? Do that.
I'll wear some wearable art for you. But that's what it's about, and they're about helping and serving others, and I think it's very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. So that's a place you want to be. And he'll be on set talking about that and his career and many more things that he has going on.
And did you say the theater is Richard Lawson and Tina Knowles Lawson?
Absolutely.
Tina Knowles Lawson.
Yes, absolutely. Theater. Yes, I will not. Okay, again, thank you for staying with us. We were a little bit overtime today, but we had great things to talk about and some tips we wanted to get to you. So cheers as we do on set.
I didn't drink one sip of mine.
Drink this wonderful alkaline water. Kangen alkaline water is what I put in the cup today. We switch it up. But I thought I'd hydrate you today.
I was hoping you'd give me some Ukan tea with the alkaline
Well,
milk. Made with Kangen alkaline
Yes,
water.
we've got plenty of things
You guys
we can
have
do
to get
there.
into this.
Okay.
Contact
Good
us.
evening.
Let us know if you're interested.
All right.
Great stuff.
We're going to walk off. Good night.
Bye-bye, everybody.